With us now from South Dakota is Republican Senator Mike Rounds. He's a member of the Intelligence and Armed Services Committees. Senator, we're grateful for your time. We all heard the Defense Secretary and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs touting the success of this operation. From where you sit, do you agree with their assessment?
Time will tell, but right now it looks like a real success. All of the early battle damage assessments appear to show that we were successful. Accolades to the young men and women that made this all possible, the planning that went into it. The execution itself appears to be flawless, but now is not the time to let our guard down. Now is the time that we make sure that we keep the guards up and that we make certain that our young men and women in that region remain safe. And hopefully the Ayatollah and his members of his community, they recognize that the United States is very, very serious in this and that we would rather have peace. But nonetheless, our military is capable of doing a great deal of damage should they decide to continue with their war on terror, which we have been the recipient of literally for years.
Okay, so what do you see as the best case scenario here? When you think of the hopeful scenario, what happens from here?
I think President Trump has made it clear that he would much rather have peace than war. He's indicated that if they want to fight and if they're going to try to have a nuclear weapon, that we are prepared to respond, and we will respond with overwhelming strength. They should consider that an opportunity to mend their ways, literally. Look, Iran could never have a nuclear weapon. We've been consistent on that. The president's been consistent on it. And unlike previous administrations, this administration is going to make it clear that we will follow through and we will execute if necessary in order to protect our young men and women in the Middle East. They've been attacked hundreds of times over the last couple of years. It's time to respond back and to make certain that Iran understands that they will never have a nuclear weapon and that if they want peace, great, we're more than willing to accept them into the world community. But if they're looking to continue on as the purveyor of terrorism in the Middle East and around the world, then there will be a price to pay. And I think the consistency in that message is critical. So once again, congratulations to a job well done to the young men and women and for the planning that went into it, to the president for having executed on this in a timely fashion. But let's keep our guard up. Now is not the time to relax. Now is the time to make sure that our young men and women who are in harm's way are protected. And I hope that the Iranians understand the message is it's up to you right now. You can choose peace. You can get into the peace process, give up your nuclear ambitions, or there's more to come.
So what about that? What's the worst case scenario? So if the best case is that Iran is chastened and sincere in mending its ways, what's the worst case scenario?
Then Iran will see the wrath of a country that has the capabilities of doing great damage. But other than that, let's just say that rather than telling them what we would do, let's make sure they understand that we have the capabilities. We don't want to use them, but if we have to, we will.
Okay, some of your colleagues on Capitol Hill have been trying to make sure the president sought congressional authorization before launching any offensive operation. Two questions. Did the president have the authority to launch this strike, and does he need congressional approval for further action?
The Constitution clearly gives the president the authority to act on our nation's behalf. Second of all, the War Powers Act, which is in place, was responded to appropriately. They were supposed to notify congressional leaders within 48 hours. They were well within that range of notifying them of the actions were taken. So the law has been complied with. The Constitution is being complied with. The president, as the commander-in-chief, has the responsibility. Our founding fathers were brilliant in the way they wrote the Constitution. They understood that Congress takes a long time to act. But they also understood that in times in military conflict or in times of great danger or emergencies, that the president needed the authority to be able to respond quickly and effectively and decisively. This president did just exactly that. It is working the way the founders wanted it to work in the first place.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.